Hello, tax lien and tax deed investors. This is Joanne Musa, and this is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live here on my business page at facebook.com/tax lien investing tips. And for those of you who are not on Facebook, you can watch the replay on my YouTube channel. And I'm here to answer your questions live on Facebook. Your questions about tax lien investing or tax deed investing. So what difficulties are you having that I can maybe help you with? Or what is your biggest question when it comes to investing in tax liens and tax deeds if you haven't gotten started yet and you're concerned about something? What is it? What is it that I can help you with? Or if you've already invested, but you want to get better at it, what are your questions? What are the questions that I can answer for you? Or maybe, excuse me, maybe you've already invested in one state and you want to go to another state and you're wondering where to go. That's another thing I can help you with. So just say hello when you come on. Say hello and let me know what state you're in. And give me your questions about investing in tax liens or tax deeds. And when my assistant Nicole comes on, she can let me know if we have any questions from our private Facebook group. It is a free group. It's private. You can only see the posts if you're in the group. But that's another way that you can ask questions and get answers inside the Facebook group. And the name of the group is Tax Lien Investing Success. And you can find it at facebook.com/groups/tax lien investing success. Okay, so just when you come on, say hello, let me know what state you're in, because investing in tax liens and tax deeds is different in every state. In some states, it can be different in different counties. For instance, Maryland, it's different in every county. As a matter of fact, the interest rate is different in every county. The redemption period is the same. It is 6 months in Maryland, but the interest rate is different in every county, and it can be very different, like from 6% to 20%. That's how different it can be. And in New York, you have places that sell, most of the counties will sell tax deeds, although Nassau County does sell tax liens. I don't recommend it though. You need a $50,000 budget to do the Nassau County online tax lien sale. That comes up in February this year, every year. But there are other lien sales in New York that are little known because they're not done by the county, they're done by the villages or the cities. And finding out about them is, it could be a little tedious because each city in New York can do what they want. Even though it's a deed state, most of the counties sell deeds. The cities in those counties can sell liens if they want to. And the villages in Nassau and Suffolk County, some of them sell liens. Okay, so say hello when you come on. Let me know what state you're in, because as I just mentioned, it is very different in each state. Even tax deed sales are different in different states. And redeemable deed sales, they can be very different. For instance, there is Texas is a redeemable deed state where you are considered the owner of the property when you buy the redeemable deed. You just have to wait the redemption period because the owner can buy the property back, okay, during the redemption period. And Georgia, another redeemable deed state, where at the end of the redemption period, you still have to get an attorney and foreclose, just like you do in a lien state, but it is considered a redeemable deed state. So, every state is very different, even if they do the same thing, even if they're both deed states or both redeemable deed states or both lien states. Okay. Hi, Adam. Good to see you from Phoenix, Arizona. Have you invested in any tax liens or tax deeds in Arizona? Because they do sell deeds too. Most of the tax lien states will sometimes sell tax deeds. Some states more than others. Like New Jersey, very seldom do they have a deed sale. Arizona, seldom also. Indiana does a lot of deed sales, along with the tax lien sales and the commissioner's sales, which are also tax lien sales. So yeah, Adam, let me know. Have you been in any tax sales in Arizona or elsewhere? And do you have a question for me today? So that's what I'm here for on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. to answer questions live on Facebook. Yes, the annual sale is in February and they do not have OTC. Yeah. You don't want to do OTC anyway. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing. That is one of the mistakes that a lot of new investors make because that's what they've been told. They can just go to the county and buy over the counter liens or deeds. What they haven't been told is if it's been sitting there over the counter, there's a reason for that. People that do that grab those things up, those babies up right away as soon as they're listed. Some of the counties in Arizona do have OTC liens, Adam, but you have to stand in line a day or a couple days before they announce the list. At least in one of the, because I know because I've been there, done that, didn't get anything because that's what I was told. If you want to get one of those OTC liens, the first two people in line get all the good stuff. And they're in line from, this was a few years ago, from the night before. I think today it's like 2 days before they camp out. And I don't know if that was Pinal or Pima. It was one of the ones that did not do the online sales. They did the live sales back then. Today, more of them do the live sales since COVID. I mean, the online sales since COVID. But there are still some live tax sales in Arizona. And those are the ones that I would go to. Not a big fan of the online sales in Arizona. They nickel and dime you for everything in Arizona. But if you live there, definitely look into it. It is a 3-year redemption period. It's a long redemption period. Okay, so any questions? Any questions? That's what I'm here for, to answer your questions. There is one thing I want to tell you about. And I just did a challenge last week, and I did a masterclass on Thursday, and I repeated it on Friday. You cannot get the replay. It was live only. We did not give out the replays. And the reason why we didn't give the replays is because I gave away something with bonuses in that masterclass that I only gave away live. But what you can get, because I still have some available, one of the things I gave away was a clarity session with me. So for those of you that need help, want to get help, and want to find out like where you are right now with your investing, where you want to go, and what the gap is in between, and maybe I have something that will help you with that. You can schedule a session with me, and you just go to taxlieninvestingmentor.com and fill out the form there, and then get a link to schedule a clarity call with me. It's a $197 value that I gave away free in the masterclass, and I still have 4 spots left. The first night of the masterclass, I had 9 available, and they all filled up. So for the second day of the masterclass, I made some more available, and only a little more than half of them filled up. So I still have 4 left. And I'll put the link in here for you. Let's see, and hopefully this will go through. I'm on StreamYard. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Nicole has done it already for me. Thank you. So the link is in there. Tax lien investing. Oh, you know what, Nicole? I don't know if it works with the S on there because it's a redirect. I think it has to be HTTP. I'm not sure. Check it and see if it works. Okay. Seems like deeds are better to invest in than liens. In Arizona, yes, not in all states, right? And just some states just don't sell deeds, or they hardly ever sell deeds, like New Jersey. It's, like once in a blue moon. And they only sell deeds from the liens that didn't sell, that the municipality kept and then sold the deed. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. All right, Adam, do you have any questions for me? Because I think you're the only one here live today. So you got me all to yourself. I could answer your questions. Deed states versus tax lien states. What do you want to know about that? Deed states versus tax lien states. What do you want to know about that? They're very different. Deed states, you're actually buying the property. Lien states, you are putting a lien on the property. You don't have any right to the property. After the redemption period, you can, in some states, you can foreclose on the property. And other, like in Florida, you don't actually get to foreclose on the property. You do a TDA, tax deed application. You put the lien into a tax deed sale, and that's how you get paid. Okay. Yeah, so let me know, Adam, what's your question? I don't know what you mean by deed states versus tax lien states. And one is not better than the other, by the way. It just depends on where you live, how much you have to invest, and what your goal is. If your goal is to own the property, then you're better off with deeds, but only if you have enough money for deeds. Okay, deeds are more money because you're buying the property. All right. If your goal is to get the return on your money, then you're better off with liens. 99% of liens across the country are going to redeem. In my opinion, one of the best states to invest in tax deeds is Texas, the best state to invest. No, Texas is a redeemable deed state. So if you're after the property, no, Texas is not the best. Texas is only the best if you want either or. You want the property or you want the return on your money. But it depends. This is not a one size all answer. This depends, and that's why you should fill out the form at taxlieninvestingmentor.com, because then you fill in where you live, how much money you have to invest, and what your goal is. Okay, and what you've already tried. And then I can help you get the best place for you to invest. But that's a whole thing. It's not a quick answer. I could tell you the best places that I like to invest, but they're not going to be your best places. And that's because they're an hour away from my house. My favorite places to invest are an hour away from my house. Okay. All right, so you're doing this with an intent of fixing up a property. You have experience in restoration and business credit. You can't use your business credit. You can't use your credit because unless you have the money in the bank. You need the money in the bank. So if you have a line of credit and the money's in the bank, then you can use it. But you can't get financing. They don't take financing. You need to have cash the day of the sale. You don't know what you're going to be able to buy. You don't, if you're going to a lien sale, you don't know what liens you're going to be able to get. If you're going to a deed sale, you don't know what deeds you're going to be able to get. It's a competitive situation. When you're done at the sale and you whatever you bought, they give you an invoice for what you've purchased, and sometimes there's things that are added to it. If it's a deed sale, you're going to have to pay a recording fee. There might be other fees that are added on. They'll give you an invoice, and then you go to the bank and you get a cashier's check. Or if it's an online sale, you do a wire transfer. Usually they have to have it that day. Sometimes you get it a day to get it, but you have to have the money available. There's no financing. And nobody's going to finance you if they don't know what they're financing. So in other words, you don't have the property yet. You don't own it yet if you're going to a deed sale. So who's going to give you a loan based on the property? If you have business cards with a line of credit, okay, there are far and few, but there are some deed sales that will take credit cards. Off the top of my head, I don't know what they are. But lien sales will not take credit cards. Most of them you have to have a money wire if it's online, or a cashier's check if it's live. Okay. Sometimes there are far and few between. There are places that will use credit cards for deed sales only, but they will, some of them will charge you extra money to use a credit card. If you could pull cash out of your credit card, you could do that. But you're going to need, and here's the thing, some of these sales, they don't even take cash. It's got to be a cashier's check or a money wire. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. The cash has to be in a checking account, not in a credit card, because you're going to have to go to the bank and get a cashier's check or do a money wire. And some of these online sales, like for liens, the sale's over in the morning. Well, you have to have that wire done by the afternoon. By a certain, sometimes it's 2 p.m. Eastern time, sometimes it's 4 p.m. Eastern time, right? They're deadlines. Okay, so Brent asked, we are live here and answering your question. Oh, okay, that was your answer. I'm reading your answer to Brent, Nicole. Brent asked, he's in Texas. How high would you suggest is generally common acceptable bidding for residential homes in a redeemable deed states? That depends on the property. What you've got to do is find out everything that you've got to pay in order to get that property, because you're going to have to pay any current taxes that are due, right? Future taxes as they come due until you sell it, and you can't sell it right away. You're going to have to clear the title on the property. You're going to have to pay for that. And the realty transfer fee, whatever fees there are, you can add them all up. You've got to get what the market price of the property is. All right. Then plan on selling it under that. Okay. You can wholesale the property without clearing the title, but you're going to have a low asking price. All right. But you've got to figure out what you could sell it for, and then base your bid price on that. Okay. I don't like to go over 50% of the value of the property. Less if it's land. Okay, let's see. All right, Brent, I'm glad I got to answer your question, and I look forward to talking to you in the future on your clarity call. Okay, what else do we have here? Any other questions? Did I miss any questions, Nicole? Or did I get them? And thank you for giving me Brent's question. Okay. So again, you guys, I've got 4 spots left to have a clarity session with me. The bonuses that I gave away in the masterclass are not available anymore, but I still have 4 spots left. You can go to taxlieninvestingmentor.com and schedule a clarity session with me. But this is not for everybody, okay? It's only for you if you have money to invest. If you don't have money to invest, it's not going to help you. It'll all be just theory. It won't help. And Nicole has put that link in there for you again. Okay. And so the whole idea of this clarity call is to find out where you are now, where you want to be, what's in the gap, and do I have any programs that can help you? Would my coaching help you? Okay, is it for you or not? Are you a good fit for it or not? Would you be a good client for me or not? And would I be a good mentor for you or not? But more importantly, regardless of that, I'm going to give you a strategy that I think will work for you to go forward. Okay, but if you don't have money to invest, then you're not going to be able to do it. So it won't help you. All right. But if you have the money to invest and you have the time to do it. Now, what if you have the money to invest and you're an accredited investor and you have at least $100,000 to invest and you want somebody else to do it for you? I am the manager of a tax lien investing fund, and I can tell you how to join the fund. And that's the only way to get me to actually do the investing for you, because I am the acquisition manager of that fund. But I'm not the person you would talk to come into the fund. You would talk to somebody else. I worry about buying profitable liens. But again, that's not for everybody. If you're not an accredited investor, you don't have at least $100,000 to invest, then you've got to put in the time. You've got to do it yourself, and that's where I can help. Okay. All right. So Nicole has put that link in for you, taxlieninvestingmentor.com. I'm here on Tuesdays at 2:00 to answer your questions. And I don't have a list of counties that accept payment, Adam. And I'm telling you, it almost doesn't exist. They're not going to accept credit cards. I've heard of maybe 1 or 2. Not too many accept credit cards. The Michigan tax deed sales are going on now. You could try them and see if they do, the counties there. But I don't recommend using credit cards for buying tax deed properties or tax liens, because with tax liens, you don't know when you're going to get paid. You don't know when you're going to be able to pay it off. With tax deeds, there's things that you have to do. I know you want to get the property and fix it up and sell it, okay? But there's other things you have to do besides just fix it up, and you have to hold it. And I don't have that off the top of my head. That's something I would have to research. And so that would be a coaching question. But you can look at the tax deed states and look at the online tax deed sales that are coming up and see if any of them accept credit cards. I really don't recommend using credit cards for, or any kind of financing for tax liens or tax deeds. So if you don't have the money, where do you get it? Get a partner. You be the boots on the ground and let your partner be the cash and split the profit. That's one way to do it. Another thing you could do is start saving the money. And a great way to do that is with a life insurance policy. I became an agent so that I could write my own policy. It is a infinite banking policy so that I can put money towards a part of it goes to a term and part of it goes to whole life and part of it goes to cash. Okay, and that cash account earns interest and dividends and grows. All right, and I can borrow from that and take that money that I borrow, because I'm not really borrowing my own money. I'm borrowing the insurance company's money, and that money still stays there. My money still stays there in that account, earning dividends and interest. But I use it as collateral, borrow from the insurance, and then I can take that money and go put it in something like tax liens or tax deeds. Yeah, paid up addition rider goes to the cash in the infinite banking policies. Yeah, but that's not all. I do have a paid up addition rider, but also some of the money that I put in there goes into that as well. Yeah, on the infinite, I write for a company. I've been involved with like 3 different companies, and the one that I like, the one that I'm writing for now, is Guardian. They have a really good track record. But if anybody wants to talk to me about starting an infinite banking policy, you can also schedule a clarity session with me, and we can talk about that as well. All right, let's see. Hard money lenders. No, I don't use hard money lenders. I don't use hard money lenders. I use partner when I'm not doing any rehabs right now. When I did, I used partners. Like I mentioned before, I was the boots on the ground. I did all the work. They put up the money and we split the profit. When I was rehabbing properties, now I'm a manager for a tax lien investing fund. So I don't invest for myself anymore. But so I'm investing for the fund with their money. And there are hard money lenders out there. Here's the problem with getting a hard money lender. You don't, like with tax, if you're buying tax liens, now Adam, I know you're not buying tax liens, you're actually buying the property, right? But when you're buying tax liens, you don't know when you're going to get paid. You don't get paid until the property owner decides to redeem the lien, and you don't know when that's going to be. So you're going to have to make monthly payments to a hard money lender. Okay, unless it's like a traditional real estate loan where they loan you the money and then you pay after the deal is done. That's another way to do it. But a lot of these lenders, they want monthly payments. So that's why I don't suggest it. And even with the tax deeds, it might be a while before you get your money out of your tax deed. So that's why I don't recommend borrowing money for this. Oh, okay. All right, Nicole, we'll talk. We'll talk about that because you might qualify with Guardian. I'm not a trustee of the fund. I'm a manager. Okay, I'm one of the managers of the fund. All right. Are there any other questions? Are there any other questions? Last call. Last call, and I'm going to take a sip of my seltzer. Last call for questions. Now, I'm back here again next Tuesday at 2 p.m. answering your questions. So if, I end this call and then you think of something and it's like, oh, darn, I wish I thought of this when she was doing that live stream. Well, I'll be back next week, so you can bring your question next week. Okay, I'll be here at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, and I'll talk to you then. Bye, everybody. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for your help, Nicole.